Hello and welcome to the Bucket List Gamers podcast. Jay in the editing room here. Just wanted to put a little introduction on this one because the start of it wouldn't make sense otherwise. So if you've heard our previous episode, you'll know we were talking about the Game Awards and the nominees, and we were going to record our thoughts on the winners and tack it on to the end of that just before Christmas. Unfortunately, we couldn't do because we ended up talking about the winners for over an hour and it would just make the episode far too long. So we split it out into this separate episode. Thought I'd just do a little cold introduction to explain the start of this episode not sounding like a normal one. We're talking to our past selves because we thought it was all going to be stitched together, and it wasn't. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one. We've got other episodes coming very soon. We've got Patreon episodes coming as well. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your support, and enjoy. Yes, hello. Thank you, Jay and Eddie from the past. We are now in the present for us, the future for them, the past for you listening. It does get very complicated with the time elements, doesn't it, when we do these jumping about episodes? But yeah, we're here. The Game Awards were not last night, the night before, I think.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't realise it was like 3 a.m. for us or something when they were actually on. So I did consider the possibility of us watching it live and talking about it, but then that wasn't feasible, especially as you just recently returned to the UK from Iceland, I believe, was it?
Yes, it was.
So...
yeah.
Not the best time for either of us to do it. So we've decided to convene a couple of days later to discuss who has won and whether we agree, whether we disagree, I can't remember what we said we thought would win, but obviously you people listening will have just literally heard us say it, so you can fact check us and whether we were right or not. I'm guessing for the most part we weren't, because you did give me a little spoiler as to some of the winners that we may be discussing, and there's not a lot of variation in them, is there?
No.
Can you remember which categories we briefly discussed last time, or are we just going in blind?
I know we did Game of the Year.
The obvious
I think
one.
we did Best Narrative. I think we did Best Soundtrack.
Shall we save Game of the Year till the end then?
Yeah.
So dive into another one. Give us the nominees again.
So I will go with Best Game Direction. So for those we have Split Fiction, Hades 2, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and Claire Obscure.
So I remember saying, I think, that I would have loved Hades to win, but I didn't think it stood a chance. And as it transpires, I don't think it did it?
No. This is one of Claire Obscure's many, many victories at this particular Game Awards ceremony, I'm afraid.
I mean, you love the game. We've discussed it at length on multiple episodes, haven't we?
Yeah.
I still haven't played it. It's installed and it is ready to go. I just haven't. Maybe over Christmas, because I finish work on the 19th. So maybe I sit down and try and give it a play. Although it sounds like it might be a little bit of a depressing play for a Christmas period.
Yeah.
I might not I might not really want to do that. But potentially I will get to it. I'm going to have to play it, given how many awards it's won and given how many ringing endorsements it's got from you, from Aaron. We've both said it's definitely something that I should play. So I'm going to have to at some point. But yeah, I think deserved for this one, based on what you've told me. I don't think you can argue with the outcome.
Yeah, no. From what I've seen so far, and I've had a quick preliminary look over the results for the Game Awards, there are some that I'm a bit disappointed with. And that's that. Given the entries for those and the nominees, I am still a little bit disappointed with some of them, and I think a lot of the people that have, a lot of the companies and the games that have been put forward, I think they've felt a little bit cheated at how much of a landslide victory Claire Obscure has had.
Well, this is it. Usually with award ceremonies and stuff, even if it's not deserved, they like to spread them about a bit, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's very small scale in comparison, but I know when I've been in workplaces before and they've had end of year awards, somebody could have literally been the best employee and be entitled to win all of them, but they'll only ever win one because you want to spread them about a bit, and each team will probably only ever win one because you don't want to put all the awards in one team in a workplace. So I feel like normally you get that a bit in all the way up the chain in award ceremonies. And this one doesn't feel like they did that. This one feels like they went, well, yeah, if we piss people off, we piss them off, but we're giving it to the people who actually do deserve to win every category if they're in it, and they're the best choice. And I know there's maybe a few where people would argue they weren't the best choice, but it doesn't feel like they've coddled anyone here and gone, oh, well, really, you're getting this because Claire Obscure won that one, and we can't just give them everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For this, I kind of feel like for some of them, it would have been nice for them to do that,
Hmm.
if only to give a reason to the other poor sods having flown, driven all that way to just go, oh. There was literally no point us turning up to this. There are a couple that I've got some notes on as well when we get to them as well. Some interesting happenings around the nominations in particular.
Before we get into it, I have an issue with awards like this. More so in a workplace than in a field like films and movies and games and music and stuff. But my issue with awards like this is end of year awards and all that kind of thing is you piss off and upset more people than you make happy.
Yeah,
Because if you've got 5 awards and each one's got 10 people up for it, so you've got 50 people vying for an award and 5 people win them, you've got 45 people who are really pissed off because they didn't win when they feel like they probably were entitled to or they thought they might stand a chance to. And it's nice that those 5 people get recognised and
yeah,
their achievements are noticed. But at the same time, you're then upsetting a load of other people who then go, well, was I not worth it or was I not as good? And a lot of time, I feel like you also get the vibe from people or teams of how the have they won it? I'm so much better than them, or the person in our team has done so much more than them,
yeah,
and obviously you're not privy to everything everyone else does, so you just assume that because you know how much you've done, you're better than the person that's won it, when in actual fact the people who are judging it probably have a better observation of it. And I just feel like, yeah, like you say, these people have flown all that way to the awards and then they've just gone, well, this game did everything perfectly, so sorry, we've wasted your time.
yeah,
And you would be a little bit pissed off. I suppose it's nice to get a nomination, and I'm sure they had a big old up and they got little goodie bags and all sorts, won't they, and
yeah,
stuff. So it wouldn't have been a complete waste. But yeah, sometimes I feel like awards do more harm than good. And I know you need to acknowledge people's achievements, but yeah, sometimes, especially like this, where you give almost all of them to one company or game,
yeah.
even though it's warranted, it still feels like you could have been, like you say, a little bit kinder and just shared it around a bit. I don't think Claire Obscure would have been gutted if they only won 6 instead of 9 or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to be fair, in their defense, they probably had to travel the furthest because they're from France, and the results are held in America. So you kind of get it that they probably have had to travel borderline further than everybody else anyway, because a lot of the nominees will have come from either Japan or America.
Hmm.
So yeah, fair enough. But still, yeah, to your point, I don't think Claire Obscure's development team would have been heartbroken if they won half the number of awards that they did.
So what have we got next?
So in terms of best narrative, we have Silent Hill F, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, and Claire Obscure.
Silent Hill F, the one that's not out yet.
No, Silent Hill F's. It's been out about a month now. I think it came out
Wow,
just
so
before Halloween. I think.
that's a very close one to the awards, then, isn't it? And like you'd potentially think that might stand a chance because of recency bias, but I'm going to guess it didn't.
No. To be fair, both Silent Hill F and Ghost of Yotei have only been out a couple of months at max, and again, recency bias. But no, again, Claire Obscure just walked this one really, and I haven't played any of the other four, so I can't possibly comment. I know Silent Hill has been given pretty rave reviews given the legacy that Silent Hill currently has, which isn't particularly good.
I just feel like Silent Hill's never been the best ever narrative
No.
for me. Do you know what I mean? It has its moments, and I think the world building is good, and I think they've done great to create this whole ecosystem and almost like an alternate universe, isn't it? That they've created with all these weird things in it, and the way, like we've discussed Silent Hill 2 in particular, with all the very dark sort of elements to the storyline that come out, and it can be a bit triggering for people. But I still don't feel like it was an excellent narrative. It was just a lot of little bits that were like, oh, that's really poignant, or that's quite a strong message to put into a game. That kind of thing. It's never had that like when we played Resident Evil 4 for the first time back in the day, and even that's not a particularly good narrative. We were really invested in that story, weren't we?
Yeah.
Whereas when I've ever played a Silent Hill game, it's not been, oh, I'm looking forward to the next story beat to find out what happens. It's like, I'm looking forward to seeing what the next weird as thing is that they've cooked up
Yeah.
for us to fight against. So I don't think, maybe the new one, maybe F is really, really narrative driven and it does have a really good story to it. But I've never felt like that's particularly been Silent Hill's strong point. And I don't think, even like Resident Evil 4, I don't think survival horror needs that particularly. You've got so many other elements going for you in survival horror, whereas like an RPG type thing like Claire Obscure, it lives on its storyline and its direction, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Survival horror always falls into it's either very, very trite, very, very stereotypical in terms of horror, or it just takes a complete bonkers exit off like the highway that you're currently on, and it sort of goes a bit left of field. Say it's one or the other, but it lives and
Mm.
dies on atmosphere, not
Yeah.
necessarily the storytelling. Dead Space, for example, the storyline is a little bit bland, really, but the atmosphere sort of makes it.
Mm.
Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7, again, you're stuck in the woods with a bunch of psychotic farmers, which you could take from anything to do, like The Hills Have Eyes, Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre. It all fits within that sort of stereotype, but again, lives and dies on the atmosphere.
Well, the whole thing in Resident Evil, if you think about it, is the most cliched story you could ever have. Lab invents something that's meant to be good, it's bad, it gets out, and it infects people, and then people are fighting back against it. It's like
Yeah,
the most basic building blocks of a horror story, isn't it? But like you say, the atmosphere in Resi 1, Resi 2, not so much 3, but 4, it is that. That's what you really take away from it is I don't know where I'm safe. I'm not really safe anywhere. What's going to jump out on me next? What horror am I going to see? The story's all right. Where you get like the Birkin bit in 2, and then like the Wesker betrayal in 1 and stuff like that. But it's not, like you say, none of that could be there, and you'd still have fun playing it. If they
yeah,
just dropped you into Resi 4 without most of the storyline, running around shooting the villagers and stuff and facing the bosses would still be a load of fun. Whereas if you took all the storyline out of Final Fantasy or Claire Obscure or something, it'd
yeah,
just be boring, wouldn't it? There'd be
yeah. It
nothing
really
to it.
would. Yeah, no, absolutely. Moving on to, I'll tie the next two together. So we've got best art direction and best score and music, and I'm tying them together because they have the exact same nominees. So
Okay,
we've
yeah.
got Death Stranding, Ghost of Yote, and they're sort of artistic sort of
Hmm.
merits. Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Clair Obscur again. These are some of the ones that I feel like are brushing against the edge of I really think someone else should have got it.
Yeah, because it does look nice, Claire Obscure, and the music is, from what I've seen, because I've watched some clips of it and stuff. It's atmospheric. It fits. It works. It sets the tone of what is happening on the screen. You get
Yeah.
the orchestral risers. You get the depressing, sort of sad background music to match the atmosphere of certain parts. But yeah, you're right. I think they could have gone. They could have thrown somebody else a bone here and gone, they don't need these two. They've got all the other elements that make an RPG amazing. Hades, for example, is super stylized. It's got brilliant music. We could let them have one or the other.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give anything to Death Stranding because I don't like it, but I can appreciate why it's there. And like, you could have gone, yeah, fair enough. Maybe the music in that is. I mean, I assume the music is comparable in Death Stranding and Clair Obscur. Like, it does the same thing. It rises when it needs to. It drops when it needs to, and it's there and it plays a part, and that's as much as it is. But I just feel like in Hades, it's an integral bit of Hades too. Like, one of the bosses is literally a music boss. that changes the music depending on which fight you end up in and sings the song to you and stuff. And I just feel like that should have deserved the music one, maybe.
Yeah, I think for both art and music, I loved Hades 1, and I've not had the opportunity to play Hades 2 because of the limited number of platforms it's currently
Hmm.
available on. But the only thing I feel probably let Hades and Hollow Knight down, and potentially Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding, to be fair, is possibly that they didn't do too much that was radically different from their original.
Yeah, yeah, they suffered from being a sequel.
Yeah, the art style hasn't changed for any of them, and that is not a criticism. They didn't need to change anything.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight is very stylized. Hades art is typical Supergiant games. It
Hmm.
it is always stunning. Doesn't matter what they do. It's all hand drawn, beautifully illustrated. Ghost of Yotei again looks very much like Ghost of Tsushima. Has that very realistic, photorealistic Japanese in the middle of the Shogun era, and again, and musically, Hades Supergiant Games, it's all done by Darren Korb, who you can, if you listen to each soundtrack from things like Transistor, Bastion, things like that, they all have a similar undertone running through them, and you can tell they are by him.
Yeah.
So I am assuming that is why, because Clair Obscurs is so radically different from sort of mainstream video gaming, because it's
Hmm.
very French.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why they've won. That and the fact that Clair Obscur's orchestra has a tour now for next year.
Right. They've sort of looked at it and gone, there's been a big budget behind this. Maybe we need
Yes.
to acknowledge that in the results, which I suppose is fair enough. But yeah, I just think for the sound one, I think that if there's a game that incorporates the music, if the music is good, still has to be good, obviously, but if the music is good to great and it is incorporated into the game as an actual part of the game, which it is in Hades 2, because as I said, the second boss I think it is sirens. So they're in a band. There's three of them in a band. You have to take them all out one by one, and depending on which variant of boss you get, they sing a different song, and it's a really good song. And there's other singing elements. I mean, Hades one. There's who is it? The main area
Orpheus,
that's
yeah.
Orpheus. Sorry, that's singing in the main area. And then when you're in the place with the three-headed skeleton snake Hydra thing,
Yeah.
there's a singer in there that you can encounter as well, isn't there? That's they've been split apart and stuff. So music's always been a core part of those games, as it is with the mythology that's behind it.
Yeah.
So it would have made sense, and it would have been nice to acknowledge that they've included it in the game. And there's been a few games where the music has been integral. I don't know if it was this year and maybe this is why it didn't get nominated, or maybe it's not fully out yet, or I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen clips of it and I have tried to find it to play it on our Twitch potentially. I've not been able to track it down yet, but there's a game out there where basically all the bosses sing musical numbers and you have to avoid their attacks, and it's all based on music. And I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. But that is literally the music is the bosses are chasing you like you running into the camera, for example, and it's attacking you, and it sings a song about the whole situation. Have you seen this? I'm sure you've
Is it
probably seen it.
is
But
it animated?
yeah, it's like really, it's
And
like
it's
Cupheady type
Yes, I
graphic.
have,
Yeah.
and I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. I think it's in beta at the minute. It's not a finalized game, but yeah, you're sort of running into the camera a bit like the
Mm,
Crash Bandicoot levels, and it's
yeah.
singing and sort of bobbing round in the background and then
Yeah. Yeah.
slapping the
Yeah.
ground in time with the beats, and you're having to jump over the shockwaves, sort of thing. Yeah, no,
Mm.
it does. Yeah, that sort of things. Yeah, I know what
And
you
for
mean.
me, something like that should win this category. And maybe it's not been nominated yet. If it is in beta, maybe it's because it's not out. But I feel like it would never even get nominated because it's not a triple A. It's like an indie project almost. And I just feel like it'll get overlooked when it does potentially come out. But that's the kind of thing for me that should be winning the music category. Either something fair enough, a massive orchestral score like Claire Obscure's got, or something where the music is ingrained into the game. Like what was there's the Zelda one, wasn't there? And the other one where it's all the attacks are based on the beat of the music and
Oh, Crypt of the Necrodancer.
yeah, stuff like that. I feel like that should get a look in the music category because
Yeah.
it is music. That's the whole thing about it. maybe not Wii Music. That one probably shouldn't get acknowledged for being in the music category, because that was an abomination of a game that used music as the core of it. But other stuff like that, I just feel like, yeah, it should be acknowledged a bit more than rather just giving it to a top mainstream game because they've hired an orchestra in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The game we were thinking of and mentioning is called Billy Bust Up.
Yeah, I think it is, because it's like super difficult as well, isn't it? It's like
Yes.
almost a bit Souls like, in it's how you have to memorize all the attacks and stuff.
Yeah, so it's a music platformer. People have dubbed it. It's a bit RPG esque, but the boss battles are all done to music.
Proper like musical style music as well,
Yeah,
isn't it? Where they're over the top singing how they're going to kill you, essentially.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, that is it. I've just looked at a video of it. Yeah, and I've just seen the one where it's chasing you into the camera.
Yeah,
That does look fun. I might, hopefully, it'll come out on PC or something, because I'd love to get Aaron streaming it at some point, because I think it will frustrate him to all hell. So yeah, what have we got next? I mean, Claire Obscure won those two. I don't think
yeah,
we
yeah,
actually
yeah,
said it, but
definitely.
we alluded to it enough.
Yeah. Again, this next one is one that I find really contentious, but again, personal preference. Next one is best performance.
Oh, is this the sound actor one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know should have won this,
I know.
in my opinion at least.
Yeah, so you've got Ben Starr, who plays Verso in Claire Obscure. You've got Charlie Cox, who's the guy that does Daredevil in the Daredevil TV series. He voices Gustav from Claire Obscure. You've got Erika Ishii, who voices the main character from Ghost of Yote. You've got Jennifer English from Claire Obscure, and she plays Mael. You have Konatsu Kato, who voices the main character from Silent Hill F, and you have Troy Baker, who did a wonderful Indiana Jones impression for the entirety of Indiana Jones. I've played, because on PS5 you get sort of samples of games and you can play X number of hours for free, just to give yourself a taster as to whether you'll like it or not. I've played, I think it's the first 2 hours of it, just to see if I felt like it would be an enjoyable game. His voice acting is phenomenal in it. I
Yeah.
could, if you hadn't told me, I'd be like, this is really good. This is either AI that's
Mm.
generated this, or someone has just spliced together a load of Harrison Ford lines or got him to record them.
I think we said this before we stopped the last recording. We talked about this, and yeah, he is so spot on with that voice. I mean, it was on Game Pass on Xbox, so I played it a lot when it first came out. Probably 5, 6, 7 hours, which is a lot for me these days to sink into one game, especially when I was a bit on the fence because I'm not great at those type of stealth games. But I did really enjoy it. But yeah, the standout of it was the voice acting and how close it is to the real deal. And I think we said this on the episode earlier before we cut off. I think he deserves it just for like a length of service award, or like a
Yeah,
contributions to gaming award, even if it wasn't just for indie. Give it to him, or if he didn't win this category, which I'm pretty sure he didn't, given you said it was contentious, I would have said, right, you haven't won this, but here's like a lifetime achievement award, like they do at various other award shows, to acknowledge that, yeah, you may not have won this category, but here's an award to say you've done amazing over the years, and thank you for everything you've contributed. Because he's been brilliant in pretty much everything he's ever been in. But the Indiana Jones thing is like the cherry, isn't it? He's
oh yeah,
so close. It is unbelievably close. And again, Claire Obscure, it'd be harsh to the individual actor that's won it if they really were really good in Claire Obscure. But I would question, and you'll know better than me, I would question that their performance as a brand new character that they can put their own spin on was better than his performance copying
yeah.
somebody that already exists.
Yeah, well, I made my opinion perfectly clear that I think he deserves this, deserved this hands down.
Hmm.
Really, for me, I love the voice acting from Claire Obscure, but I genuinely do think he deserved this more than anyone. Unfortunately, didn't go his way, and he lost to Jennifer English, who does Mael from Claire Obscure.
It's just different levels, isn't it? Because you've
Yeah,
got, yeah, you can be amazing at voicing that character and putting all the emotion and stuff into it. but you're using your own voice, I presume, or a voice that isn't going to be compared to anything else. He's had to come in, put all that emotion into the new lines and all the attitude and stuff, and pick up someone else's mannerisms and copy their voice to the point where people were questioning whether it was even
Yeah,
Harrison Ford that was doing it. It's just a level above. She's probably amazing. I'm not going to take that away from her. But what he's done is what she's done, but plus
yeah,
sort of thing. And I just, yeah, it's harsh. That is a harsh one, especially when, as we said earlier on, you sort of probably should spread it around a little bit. And yeah, maybe it would.
yeah,
I don't even think it would have been actually. I was going to say maybe that would have been harsh to her. No, I don't think it would be because I don't think she'd have lost this category on the fact that Claire Obscure had already got 8 more awards. I think she should have lost this category because he is amazing and
yeah.
what he did was amazing. And it's just he seems like the obvious winner. And it's almost like they've gone, this is the media darling game. How many of these awards can we push that way?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think she deserved to win it over the other two nominees from Claire Obscure because
Mm,
their performances are really good as well. I think he's more deserving of the award,
mm.
and
And as I say,
not
not
that
to take
hers was,
anything away from them, yeah,
yeah,
it's
how
just he
her
was that good.
performance was any better than the other two. I find that a hard thing to judge, really. So moving on, we have got Best Ongoing Game, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. So no Claire Obscure nomination for this one.
Oh, we've got a different winner here. It's nice to know.
And this one I feel is a bit... Anyway, it's No Man's Sky that's won it. And I sort of understand it, but at the same time, it's like rewarding one of those kids for being good on one day, or when you kids are little shit for the entire year, and because it's coming up to Christmas and Santa knows you're being naughty, they decide to be nice for a week. It's like rewarding that. And No Man's Sky, when it came out, did not deliver what it was supposed to deliver. It was a complete joke when it came out, borderline worse than Cyberpunk, because at least Cyberpunk had content,
Yeah.
whereas this was just multiple planets that all essentially had the same stuff on them, and they've just done so many patches and updates that now it's worth playing. It's like it's 11 years old now, so yeah, it's been running for 11 years, but it's taken you 11 years to get it to a point where it holds interest.
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? It's a weird title for a category as well, isn't it? Best ongoing game.
Yeah,
Because it is essentially, and like you say, the thing about it, kid being good for a week, it's almost the same level as those most improved awards. Because that is a backhanded compliment if ever I heard one. Because you're saying you used to be shit, and now
yeah,
you're not quite as shit. So here's an award. Most improved is a terrible award to give, and I feel like that is what this is. They're
yeah,
just not wanting to say that. And even out of all those that you've mentioned, if the category is best ongoing game, that one probably shouldn't have won it because it's all right now from what I understand, but it's still not amazing. It is just because it was so terrible that now it is playable. It's not too bad. Whereas some of those other games that you listed there in that category were probably great to start with, and they've built on it and made it
yeah.
just as good and kept it going. It is almost like a participation award. That one they've gone up. Claire Obscure's not in this category. Just fucking stick a pin in the board and see which one it lands on, and we'll give it to them.
Throw a dart.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I don't agree with that one. That one's harsh on everyone else in that category to give it to them.
yeah. Again, this next one is Best Indie. And again,
Okay.
this is an unfair assessment, really. I mean, it is and it isn't, because you've got Absalom, which again looks great and has had really good reviews, but it's very, very recent. I think it came out 2 weeks ago. Ball X Pit. No idea.
That's not that old. I play that quite a lot, to be fair. That was what I racked most of my hours up on in our
Oh,
game for MND thing. So it's essentially a. Do you remember there's a game called Woody Pop, which was my closest approximation for Game Gear, and then I suppose it's like Breakout or Arkanoid, where you've got the paddle at the bottom and you're bouncing the ball
right.
up. but it isn't because you just fireballs constantly and you don't have to catch them. So they can go behind
Okay.
you, you don't lose anything. But if they go behind you, you can't fire them again until you collect them and they bounce back into you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's just a bit, it's one of those, we've talked about it a lot. It's one of those where it's, oh, I'm just going to have one more go because the last go didn't go well. Or I'm going to have one more go because I want to see if I can get a bit further. But it elevates that because you go down into the pit to do the levels, but above the pit, you're building like a little village up, so you can build fields and forests and houses and properties, and they all do different things. And once per time after you've done a dive into the pit, you can send your villagers out like pinball style into the village, and whatever they hit they'll just bounce off, and they gather resources or they collect money, or if you've placed a new building, it needs X amount of bouncers before it becomes a functional building. So you send them out and they ping round it for like 30 seconds or 20 seconds or however much you've built the timer up with various perks, and then they come back, and then you can't send them again until you've done another dive,
Right.
unless you pay gold. So it's almost like you've got the whole thing of, I want to dive again and see if I can do better or beat the boss or try a different, because there's about 20 different people that you can dive as, and they all have different abilities. So one of them fires the balls from the back rather than the front. One of them can lob balls, so you can lob them over them rather than just shooting straight. One of them picks all the upgrades for you, and you don't have any say in what upgrades you pick. It just does it all. So whenever you get an upgrade, it picks one. One of them
Right.
literally plays it for itself. You just sit and watch, which I don't like that one. One of them will turn it into like a turn based thing. So rather than you constantly moving forward, you shoot your balls, they shoot at you, and it takes forever, but it's much easier because you can
Right.
position yourself. So there's loads of different people as well. So there's that element of, oh, maybe I'll try a different person on this level and see if they're better. There's the element of, I just want to give it one more go. And then there's the element of, well, I don't really want to do another dive, but I want to improve my little town. And the only way I can do that is if I dive again to then be able to ping my people out into the thing. So it's
Okay.
got this like trifecta of, I'm just going to try one more game. And that makes me wonder how much I'm actually enjoying the game bit of it, because I don't think I do that much. I think the game bit of it is a means to an end to get my little town better, or to try a new
Okay.
person, or to unlock something. So it's a bit of an odd one. I don't love it, but I'm addicted to it. It's one of those. It's not like Hades where I'm really loving it and then I want to do another run because I really enjoyed myself. It's sort of like, oh, I'm not loving this, but I want to carry on getting this bit better, so I'm going to have to do this bit to double back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ball X Pit. It's not bad. It's free on Game Pass. I don't know if I'd have
Okay.
paid for it, maybe I wouldn't have been as happy with it, but I have had a lot of fun with that one.
Okay. Well, speaking of, well, a game that you've just mentioned, Hades 2 is also a nominee. Hollow Knight Silk Song, Blueprints is
Ooh.
nominated, and I think we both know, well, I think everyone knows our opinion on Blueprints, given the fact that we're on like video 7.
Yeah, although only video 4's gone out so far, because again, on me, need to edit some. But yeah, we've played a lot of Blueprints compared to everything else we've played when we've met up in a room together.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it's our most
absolutely.
played game of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, what's won this?
Unfortunately, the last entry is Claire Obscure because they are an indie studio.
Oh, they didn't need this one. They didn't need this
I
one. This is,
know.
of all the ones to give out, they shouldn't have even. I know they're an indie studio, but they shouldn't have even been in this category,
No.
in my opinion. Just leave them out of this one and let someone else have it. You don't look at, yeah, they're an indie studio, but you look at that game and it isn't an indie game, is it?
No. No.
By any
It's
metric, it's not an indie game other than it's an indie studio who's built it,
yeah. So yeah, Claire Obscure won that one.
which I suppose is the main one, but it is the main metric, but it's still, I don't feel like that's fair. They could have given any of those others a little chance there. Hades, in particular, I think, deserves something. But Blueprints, how has that only been nominated for so few categories when it's been such an impactful game this year?
Yeah, no, absolutely. To be fair, the next category is best debut indie. Claire Obscure obviously has a vote in this. Despelot, which I haven't seen, haven't heard anything about.
No.
It DSPELOTE.
Oh.
I'm probably butchering some sort of Spanish pronunciation there, but hey ho.
Despalote. Oh god, that looks weird.
Yeah, typical indie.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. That is just strange. Maybe we need to check
Yes.
that out. It looks football based as well, so probably not in your
Yeah.
wheelhouse.
No. You've then got Dispatch, which is the new narrative driven choices matter, sort of like the old Telltale games, but for superheroes this time.
Oh, I've seen people
Looks
playing
like
this on Twitch.
Invincible.
It looks like you're playing a comic book, basically. It
Yes,
looks
yeah,
really
essentially.
cool. I did see a few people playing this, and I was like, I really want to play this because it looks amazing, but it looks like it is literally just picking dialogue options all the way through.
Pretty much, yeah. It, like I say, it looks like a playable version of the TV series Invincible, which
Hmm.
is a bit like The Boys, but a cartoon
Yeah.
version. Blueprints again is nominated for this. Claire Obscure, and the one that was interesting was Megabonk, which I think we laughed at, and
It
when I read out the nomination last time,
does sound like something I'd laugh at. Let's have a look.
the the interesting thing with this one,
Oh, not
the
what I expected.
developer requested that their nomination be removed
Strange.
because it's technically not his first game.
Oh.
So he felt that it was unfair.
You'd keep your mouth shut, wouldn't you? Surely.
Yeah,
I mean, these aren't anyone's first game. Surely people have made like rubbishy little. You don't just dive in and make Claire Obscure as your first ever game. As a studio, maybe, but those individuals will have made other stuff before.
yeah. I mean, as we said, they were sort of outcasts from Ubisoft,
Hmm.
other development studios that had shut down or that had shut down sort of areas of their development teams and sacked them all. Same with Blueprints. Again, they are literally new studios, but they are industry veterans by and large.
Yeah, I wouldn't have excluded him or her or whoever made it from being in that category. Based, I suppose, if the studios made another game, but then who was the researcher on these game awards that didn't just Google the studio name and go, "Oh, no, they've made another game then," so we best not include him in this category. But yeah, what picked up the victory in this one?
Have a guess.
Claire Obscure.
Yes, it did.
It's not needed. It's so frustrating. Like I feel like this is the kind of thing that could turn people against it
Mm.
because they're like, well, yeah, it's an amazing game, but it's stolen these awards from other more deserving people. Like, and it might sort of garner a little bit of hostility towards them because of all this.
It's like the Oppenheimer thing from last year's Oscars, where it was like it was
Hmm.
nominated for pretty much every category that it could be conceivably nominated for, and between it and Barbie, it was like, why the did anyone else turn up?
Yeah, no, there's definitely an element of, and I'm usually one for saying, no, if somebody deserves it, don't spread things round. I think I've told this story before. If I've bought 20 quid's worth of raffle tickets in a raffle, and somebody else has bought a pound's worth, and I win 10 of the 12 prizes, I'm not putting them back because I've paid way more than everybody else to potentially win all those. So I think same sort of line of thinking. If somebody deserves all these awards, then yes, give them to them. But I feel like there's a couple of categories. The voiceover one, I don't think they were the prime one to be winning it. And the indie ones, I wouldn't have put them in it. I'd have been like, right, fair enough, yeah, you are indie, but you're in all these other ones, so don't worry about these two.
Yeah,
These are not below you, but you can give these to someone else. Let
yeah.
someone else have a chance in these ones, sort of thing.
Particularly seen as someone else has just dropped out as well. So, do you
Yeah.
know what? If they've got the good graces to do that, probably seen as you are industry veterans, probably just step back a little bit from this one. I will try and blitz through these next ones because they are all genres of gaming categories. So
Let's have a speed run
we have
round.
got Best Action Games, which were Battlefield 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Winner for that one was Hades 2, so nice
Oh, so they
little.
got one. Yeah, yeah.
They got one for that. Best Action Adventure Game, Despite the fact that the previous one was called Action, wouldn't you just put them both together and just... Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Split Fiction, and Hollow Knight Silk Song. Hollow Knight Silk
Ooh.
Song took this one, which is
See,
nice.
it is, but I don't think I'd have picked that out of those.
No,
So again, it's a bit of a weird choice. It's nice that they've got it, but it's again a bit of a strange choice. If I was Indiana Jones, for example, just as picking one out of there, I'd be a little bit annoyed about that
yeah,
compared to some of the other ones. So yeah, odd choices. Even though it's nice that Silk Song has been acknowledged and got something.
yes. Best RPG, you've got Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, The Outer Worlds 2, and Claire Obscur. Claire Obscur took that one.
Makes
Best,
sense in that.
yeah, it's not particularly contentious, that one. Best fighting game, you've got 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter 5. Fatal Fury won that one. Not heard
Well,
anything about that in particular, really.
no, but half of those were just compilation rehashes, weren't they? You can't really
Yeah,
give that like
exactly.
best fighting game of the year. They were struggling on that one. They were just padding a little bit, I think.
Yeah, best family game. We have got Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Split Fiction, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. The one that we didn't think was going to win this, because I think we said it at the time, Donkey Kong Bonanza took this one, and
Yeah, I
that
saw that.
surprises me.
I would have given it to Split Fiction personally. Out of
I
those,
genuinely thought Split Fiction would have walked that one, given the other nominees, but
because it's one of those definition of play it together type games, isn't it?
yeah, because you can't play it any other way.
And I know Bonanza does that to an extent, and it's a Nintendo, so it's obviously family friendly. I wouldn't have picked that. I don't particularly love Bonanza, which I think we mentioned earlier on anyway.
Yeah.
So I might be a little bit clouded in my judgment, but yeah, I wouldn't pick that one out of that.
No. Best sim strategy, you've got Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, sorry, Tempest Rising, The Alters, and Two Point Museum. Final Fantasy Tactics won this one, and I am surprised because The Alters, although I get the feeling that The Alters hasn't been played by as many people as it should have been,
No,
has had
yeah,
absolutely rave reviews.
I liked the Alters. I didn't play it loads, but Aaron recommended it to me, and I played it enough to know that it's a good game.
Yeah.
It needs more time than I could dedicate, so I've sort of sat on it for a bit. But no, that yeah, I would have given it that. I mean, I would have potentially given it to not Jurassic Park. I don't think because it's more of the same. I'm surprised Civ didn't win it just because
Yeah.
it's Civ. It's the archetype of that category, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 Point would have been nice, but it never really stood a chance against the rest of the
No.
things in that group.
Best sports and racing, and I find the entries in this baffling. So you've got esports, EA Sports FC 26, sports game, not a problem. F1 25, sports game, not a problem. Rematch, sports game, not a problem. Mario Kart World. I mean, what the guys?
Yeah, no,
It's all right. It's a racing game, but it's not in it.
it's a
When you
tenuous
look at
one,
the
that
other
isn't it?
categories, it's just like
Yeah.
I get it, but and then Sonic Racing Crossworlds again. I get the link, but
No, it's
it
not sports, is it? I know it's sport. Is it sports and racing the category?
yeah, it is sports and
So
racing, but
that's why they've done that. They've put racing on the end, so they can put Mario and Sonic in it, and it not sound stupid. But you'd have your nose put out a little bit if you were EA, weren't you? And then they're like, right, we're just going to chuck Mario Kart and Sonic Racers in here as well.
I mean, technically, if you wanted to, you could put Fortnite in it because it's an e-sport
Yeah,
game. And it's just like, yeah, there's a link, but come on.
there's so many sports games as well. Like there's an NHL game every year. There's a Madden game every year. There's
Yeah,
a basketball. There's a 2K NBA one, isn't there? Every year. I mean, even like WWE 2K25 would
yeah,
have fit more into that category than Mario and Sonic do. I mean, it's a good job Kirby Air Riders didn't come out a little bit sooner, or else
yeah.
that'd have been thrown in there as well.
Mario Kart won that one.
So, it's just not
Yeah,
even a
I
sports
know.
game that's won it. Oh, if I was EA, I'd be fuming at that. I would be absolutely booting off about
Best multiplayer: Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, Split Fiction, and Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders won this one.
I was thinking it was going to do just because it is the hottest thing at the moment.
Yeah,
That is 100%. I mean, it might be a great game. I've not played it. I've not watched it, but that must be recency bias coming into effect in that one
yeah, I would think so.
because there's some really good games in that category to lose to a game that came out like 3 weeks ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Best adaptation, and I don't like the entries in this particularly. So you've got Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, which looks like it's an animation, and I think it's a Netflix exclusive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Splinter Cell Death Watch, didn't even know that was a thing. Last of Us Season 2 and Until Dawn. Until
Oh,
Dawn has
if
had the
Until
absolute
Dawn wins this,
kicked out of it.
surely hasn't won. Surely
No,
hasn't won it. Oh,
Last of
good.
Us Season 2, which is a rightful winner. But again, when you compare that three of the entries are just two animes shouldn't count because you can make them as close to the game as you physically want. Whereas
Yeah.
the Minecraft movie is a it's worth it as a nomination.
I know it's been on as well, but I would have considered giving it to that because it did well. It was successful. It did what it needed to do.
Yeah,
Minecraft, as a concept of anything outside of the game, is stupid. And the film was stupid, but it was fun and it was
yeah,
enjoyable, and I loved it. Yeah, I think that probably deserves better than I haven't seen The Last of Us because I didn't play through the game until we did it on the podcast, and me and Jack played through it. And he refuses to play two because he said playing two was
yeah,
the biggest like love hate relationship he's ever had with anything. So I've not experienced two, and I didn't want to watch the TV show until I'd played both the games, just in case there are any spoilers. From what I understand, it's all right. I know Bella Ramsey's got a lot of
yeah,
abuse for being in it because she's not been great in it, and she's a bit of an odd choice of casting. But
yeah,
it's nice that they've been acknowledged, I suppose, as it is actually decent, and it's not all the publicity just isn't that she shouldn't be in it or should be in it or whatever the argument may be. So that's nice. But yeah, as long as Until Dawn didn't win it, because that film has got all to do with the game. They could have
yeah,
called that film anything, and it would have fit just as well as Until Dawn does. So
yeah.
yeah,
No,
that's a
absolutely.
victory on their parts at least.
Penultimate category then is most anticipated game, and I find the description for this category really, really off putting. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. And I find the nominees and the winner really, really don't gel with that as a descriptor.
Would Duke Nukem Forever have been considered in this when it first
I
got
mean,
announced?
probably. Yeah, exactly. And this is my thing. So, 007 First Light, fair enough. Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, The Witcher 4, and Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't
Oh.
feel
GTA 6
particularly.
hasn't won it, has it?
Of course it has.
Why
And
though? It
I
doesn't do
don't
any.
feel
It's not going to
like.
do anything different. It's
No,
going to be the same
exactly.
game as 5, which was the same game as 4, but a little bit better.
Just shinier graphics. That's all it
Yeah,
is. The Witcher 4, again, is going to play like The Witcher 3, but with
yeah.
shinier graphics. Resident Evil Requiem, fair enough. The boss enemy that follows you around anywhere, the
Hmm.
AI on that is going to
Could
be
be.
better
Yeah,
and more intimidating than the alien from Alien Isolation, which was already pant wetting.
yeah, yeah.
Marvel's Wolverine, nah, it's a comic book adaptation. I'm not really that bothered. And 007 First Light, it's by IO Interactive. It is just a Hitman game.
Yeah.
That is all. It's all it looks like, and it's all it's going to fucking play like, minus a little bit of stealth.
And how many Bond games have we had that have played pretty much the same as each other as well? There's nothing new.
Exactly.
But GTA is because I mean GTA 5 isn't even the solo player of it is not even the focus now, is it? It's been
No.
online for about 10 years now. The focus has been, or however long, like a year after it came out, online was the primary focus. They've never done anything, and the base game doesn't need anything. You don't need expansions and stuff for a GTA game, do you? It's its thing, and then it's done. How much are they going to put into 6 that's going to make it any different from what you do in 5? Because the thing about 5 was the three characters, wasn't it, that you switch between? If
Yeah.
that had have been the thing that got nominated for this back when that came out, I'd have said, yeah, fair enough, because that is completely separate to how 4 is. And it's a weird little mechanic in that you can be halfway through a robbery somewhere and go, I'm just going to switch into another character now. and you go and see, and they're living their life. It's not like they just stood somewhere waiting for you to retake control of them wherever you left them. They're doing their own thing, and you take over. They might be driving, they might be in a fist fight, they might be like just hanging around a house. They're living their own life, and it's clever to have three people independently doing that, and you could just switch them whenever you wanted, and pick up from there. But six, even if it does that, isn't going to be anything new. So it's like giving it to Saints Row because they changed it to be like students instead of a gang, and it's like, well, that's new. They've pushed it forward because it's not. You're not just playing the Saints gang again. You're a load of students that need some rent money or whatever it was in the latest game. I don't know. I can't remember now. It was. It's been a while since I played it, and it weren't that memorable when I did. I don't know. No, that shouldn't have won that one. But then I don't know what most of the things in that category apply to that definition that you read out.
No, I don't think, other than advancements in graphics, I don't think it's pushing the medium on at all. It's not pushing the medium on in terms of storytelling, because 007 is supposed to be James Bond's first mission, basically, as 007. So that's not going to push the medium on in any way, shape, or form. The Witcher 4 is a continuation of both the novels and the video games. So
Hmm.
again, all right, it's a new bit in the story, but it's still going to play exactly the same. And GTA, I mean, I've never had a particular fondness for GTA. It's not my kind of game at all. But each year, it's just, oh look, it's better graphics.
Yeah. See,
We
I
we
love
need to
them.
get over this as an industry.
I love GTA games, but I know it's not going to be any different. It's just going. It doesn't need to be. People like them because they are more of the same thing. They just want a new storyline to play, new missions, new guns, new cars. Yes, it looks nicer. That's a benefit, but it's not the be all end all of it.
Yeah,
There are so many little indie games that I've seen that have put trailers out and stuff that are doing things that are new and different. And a lot of them are probably out, so examples I'm going to struggle to find. But like, there's horror games now where they literally track your eye movement, and if you blink in real life, the stuff on screen then moves, like Weeping Angel style. It literally, the camera tracks your eyes. That's new. That's an advancement. That's something that could be utilized very well. Not just polishing some guns in GTA and going, oh, look, we made a new shiny that might not even come out next year anyway, given
yeah,
how many times it's been pushed back already. No, that doesn't sit well with me, that one.
no.
And I mean, we've only got one category left, and we know what's won it anyway. So there's not really much more for us to talk about on this. But I'll let you formalities go on. You can read it out and do the pageantry of it all, and then we'll wrap up.
So, so game of the year were nominees were Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Claire Obscure. Shock horror.
Do you want me to do a drum roll? Hold
I
on.
mean, if you can find it. It's Claire Obscure. Because of course it is.
I feel like
So,
that's more fitting than the clapping.
yeah, kind of. So out of the 13 categories it was nominated for, it won 9. So, yeah, sorry to the other 5 people that turned up for their games that were nominated for the same, because you probably should have just stayed at home.
Let's not take anything away from it either,
Oh, no.
because you've talked about how good it is. I can't really comment, but from everything I've heard and seen, it is an amazing game, and it deserves these things. But I just think they could have potentially not nominated it for as many categories, or not had it win as many categories that it was nominated for, just to make others feel a little bit more like they're not just banging their head against a wall
Yeah.
because this one game's going to come in and take everything. And it's a difficult one for me because as I said, I'm very much of the opinion that if something deserves something, it should get everything it deserves. But I don't think in some of the categories it potentially did, especially the voice acting one. I
Yeah.
think that one in particular stands out as this really should have gone somewhere else. And it feels like it's gone to that because everything else is, and it just feels like a trend. And then, yeah, the indie one, while I appreciate why it's in there and why it's won those categories, I just feel like if they hadn't put it in there, one, no one, well, somebody would have complained because somebody always does, but most people wouldn't have complained that it wasn't in there. And I don't think the studio behind it would have complained that it wasn't in there either. And
No.
that would have been a dead easy out to say, here's some acknowledgement for somebody else who's done brilliantly without even having to bring them into it and have them lose or anything. Just don't put them in it. No one will be upset about it because they're already in another 10 categories and they're going to
Yeah.
win 8 of them. So don't worry, or 7 of them, whatever it was. So yeah, bit of an odd one. We will be doing our awards, won't we, in the new year, as
We
is
shall.
now New Year's tradition. We will be talking about our best games off the list, which will be a struggle, I believe, this year, given some of the titles we've had to look at in that book. But we will be doing that. We've had a great year. It's not been as productive as previous years, which we are aware of, but life does often get in the way of things, and we are still churning stuff out, even though it is slowly but surely. And we have expanded into other areas, haven't we? So there is content out there for you, even if it isn't us talking on the podcast every week like it used to be. There's Twitch with Aaron and me more often. We'll try and get Eddie a new computer so he can join us on there at some point. We've got the YouTube videos that we put out every so often. There's those on there. You can go and chat to us on social media. We're putting posts out on there and stuff. So there's lots of ways to interact with us outside of the podcast. Sorry if the podcast is the only bit of our empire, if you will, that you enjoy, but we will keep doing it. It just won't be quite as frequent with all the other stuff we've got going on. But you never know, we might fall back into the groove of getting stuff out more than once a month in the new year, which would be nice. Got plenty left to go through, and yeah, one last thing to do would be to shout out our Patreons. So we have got in the couple of coins tier, we've got Harry Flynn. In the bucket kicker tier, we have got Ric Flair, we've got Doches, we've got ZomBev, and we've got the Doctor. And in the Avatanish tier, we've got Aaron and we've got the Sweaty Llama. So thank you to you guys for the support all year. And since we started, pretty much for most of you, which is massively appreciated. The special episode for Patreon is partly edited. I hope you've enjoyed this 2-hour spectacular. It might be the longest episode we've ever done on Spotify, etc. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. We will be back in the new year with more bucket list episodes. We'll probably try and do a few more DLC episodes where we talk about what we want. We'll be playing more Blueprints, I expect, as long as they don't take it off of PlayStation Plus or whatever it's called. Yeah, we've got other games to play as well. We've been given a few games to play. There are a few more that I would love to play with Eddie. And there's been some more saucy games put on, but thankfully we haven't been given a key for them, so we don't have to sit in the same room. I mean, some of them as well. Wow, one of them was a VR game, and I didn't accept it because I knew there would be literally no way we could cover that game anywhere. So I didn't take that one, but it looked very interesting, I will say, to say the least. So yeah, there's plenty more to cover the new year. I would absolutely love. There's certain things on YouTube that I would love to just make Eddie watch and record his reaction to. Now, whether we'll be able to do that, I don't know, but potentially that might be something we look at doing in the new year as well. We've still got stuff to open as well for our new Pack Rips channel at BLGTCGs on YouTube. If you want to follow that one, we'll be putting some more videos up on there. But yeah, plenty more to come. And until the next one, I will say that is goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.